Can they get it? But niggas is timid. Rappers is softer than linen. Catch me out parking lot pimping. What more can I give them? I've been the hottest forever. Why would I lie about cheddar? I could do better. I just put loyalty first. Royalty coming whenever. Pull off in the Jetta. Curvature on me, you sweater. My fault like wearing a sweater in summertime weather. Haters so salty, no pepper. You not that seasoned or clever. I'm with the rebel. Used to pump bass with the treble. Baking a cake in a kettle. I used to cook up the work. Now I just cook with the metal. Gotta keep foot to the pedal. Yeah, let me give it gas on the highway. Let the music blast on the calm day. Break the Glock down into three parts. Put the three together like my Najee. Just like Bombay with my enclave. Got my mind made. Ain't no time waste. Eating prime steak with a fine date at a fine place. Getting violated.
Hey, listen. I already told these niggas. You understand? I call up King Ty. He say, what's up? I said, what's good, my lord? Listen, he like, listen. These niggas ain't ready for none of this. You understand? I said, listen, if the nigga ain't one West, he ain't got it on his arm or his chest. I don't give a fuck about the nigga. It's just me and my niggas. We royalty here.
I got the hammer, you running, man. Come through your window like brother man. Snapping your neck like a rubber band. Talk to my dog like the sun is setting. He told me murder you rappers. Because sending you vertical actors. Y'all got me coming with verbal attackers. I might attack you type physical too. So y'all be rhyming the way y'all be shining. I'm blinding these rappers like Mr. Magoo. These haters miserable, we indivisible. Look at these haters like they got no clue. They hold up ones in them W's. Really, bro, don't get too comfortable. If you ain't cut from the cloth, co-signed by the boss, then we do not fuck with you. Cause you wouldn't last here. I told you the same shit last year.
Already told.
Keep talking that trash, I have a car come kick your ass
You
here.
already know.
Your jaw like glassware. We pull up not rocking no mask there. Don't care if you spot us, you know how you got us. It's over, you saying your last prayer.
Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. Okay, this is Tuesday night, Austin, Texas, Tuesday night Brotherhood class. All right, Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. It's a weapon that we're going to use to rebuild this nation. Okay, so we gotta come together and we got to rebuild this nation. All right, because we are a lost people. We are a broken people. How do we know that? We know that because what's going on right now? We have Black History Month, okay? And Black History Month, what do they teach you? They teach you that, basically teach you that you are an African, okay? When you are not an African, all right? They can't trace they try to trace your lineage and your heritage back to Africa because of Kunta Kinte, right? Because of Charles Haley, who wrote Roots or whatever, created Roots. And they come to find out that was a damn lie. It wasn't even true. Okay. So we have to get clear understanding, and we're going to look at some of our roots and look to how we became Israel. All right. So with it being Black History Month, we're going to get some real Black history, the real history of the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right. And that and it is very important because they confuse us with who we are because they change what we are called every so many years, every so many generations. And in the 70s, Jesse Jackson is the one who coined the term African American. Okay, so we're not two countries. We're not these other nations. All right, we are Israelites. All right, and we're going to see that today. We are going to find out today more about it. All right. So somebody give me Genesis chapter 4 and 25.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son and called him his name Seth. For God said, she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who Cain slew.
You see that? So we all know that Cain slew Abel. All right. and Adam knew his wife again, and she bare him a son, and his name was Seth. And Seth is who's going to carry on this lineage. All right, go ahead and read 26.
26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos.
Now give me Luke. Luke 3 and 37.
Book of Luke, chapter 3 and verse 37. Which was
And hold on 1 second. Let me get there with you real quick. Hold on, let me work this thing. Yeah, Luke 3 and 37. All right, Salakia, you got it, warrior.
Luke chapter 33 and 37, which was the son of Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Jared, which was the son of Mikla, how you pronounce that? I don't know. Melalel, which was the son of Canaan.
Of Canaan. All right, continue.
38, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam,
okay,
which was the son of God.
All right, so you see how this is piecing together. These lineages mean something. I mean, today our lineage means something. We might reverence our grandfather. You know what I mean? We might reverence uncle. You know, this lineage matters. That family matters. That heritage matters. And while they're telling you that you come from Kunta Kinte, or you come from some Hamite nation, the Bible is telling you clearly who you coming through in this lineage is to get to us, all right? To get to where we at, to get to the people of the promise, all right? And that's what we have to do. We have to walk through, because if you don't walk through, you're not going to get the understanding. You need to know who these people are. You need to know how you are considered an Israelite, okay? Let's go back to Genesis, and we're going to get Genesis, the 5th chapter, all right, in the 18th verse.
Book of Genesis, chapter 5 and verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch.
All right. Yeah, you could. I guess you can go ahead and read that. Read 19.
19. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begot sons and daughters.
Yep. Continue.
Verse 20. All the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died.
Continue.
And Enoch lived 65 years, and begot Methuselah.
Yep.
Verse 22. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters.
And he got what?
He got sons and daughters.
He begot sons and daughters. So as you see, it's walking through. We going to the lineage from Adam, from our lineage that we are under. Okay, and that's what we need to understand. So we have these patriarchs in our family. All right, and they are just the Bible runs it down the line, and if you pay attention, you can see exactly how it all comes about, where we all come and stem from. All right, let's get back to it. Drop down to 28.
And Lamech lived.
Hold on, and let me say this. So it went through those lineages, all right, all the way to Jared, then to Enoch, okay, then to Methuselah, all right, and this is going down, and we know Methuselah is Noah's grandfather. So this is how we knew the law, because right there, well, in Genesis, when it talks about, that the Lord breathed the life into Adam, that life that was breathed into Adam, that was the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. All right. And how the Bible says Noah was a just man. It don't never say nothing about Noah getting a commandment. All right. That's been passed down from Adam through all these lineages. That's why it's saying these names. All right. That's why it's important to know your history, to know real history. Okay. Let me see. Go ahead and drop down to 28.
28. And Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son.
Uh-huh.
And he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 585 years and begot son and daughter.
Drop down to 32.
32. And Noah was 500 years old and begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
You see, so Noah was, what did it say? Noah begot who? He begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right. So coming out of the flood, we know these are the people who are going to repopulate the earth. These are the people who is going to, regenerate, repopulate. Okay. So when you're running down these lineages, we already know about Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right. We know that as Israelites, we come from the Shemitic. All right. That's why we are Shemites. All right. Now let's go to Genesis 10 and 21.
Book of Genesis, chapter 10, and verse 21. And to Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder.
Mm-hmm.
Even to him were children born.
All right,
verse 22.
Now drop down to 25.
25.
No, 25.
25. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother name was Joktan.
Uh-huh. All right.
And
Hold on. All right. So still we see this is running down the lineage, and we're taking it lineage by lineage. You know what I mean? So we can walk it down and get to where we're going. Like that's what is so important, because our history is so scattered, it is so destroyed. And that's why they give you this Black History Month. All right. It's for that reason. Slacky, I don't want to say that. They give us this Black History Month, and it's for that reason, is that you need to know your real Black history and not knowing just what the hell America wants to tell you about it. Because we all learned in school, I learned I was a jungle bunny in Africa running around naked. They came, they captured me, and they gave me God. They said I wouldn't know God without him. All right. They gave me Christianity, and they They give me the Christianity and they give me all this other manner of nonsense, but they didn't teach me. They didn't teach me about the 12 tribes of Israel. They didn't teach me about we are the people of this Bible. They taught me that without them, I wouldn't be civilized. But really, with them is we're uncivilized because under their care, under their oppression, what do? We do and sell drugs. We molest, we kill, okay? Because once we got with them, we became very uncivilized. All right, because they are uncivilized. You see how they do, you see how they move, you see how they maneuver through the earth. You see their wickedness. They don't care. They don't have no disdain. They can be filthy, stinky, and nasty, and they'll look down on you. Okay. Just think of all them slave owners. Those wasn't clean looking people. They were just dirty Edomites. All right. So we're gonna keep walking down. We're gonna keep walking down. We're gonna keep walking down this lesson. Let's go to Genesis 11 and 16. Yeah, so we can keep walking it down.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Eber lived 430 years and begot Peleg. 17.
Drop to 18.
Jump down to 18.
Yep.
And Peleg lived 30 years and begot Reu.
All right. So Eber lived after Eber got Eber, what to say? Yeah, Eber lived and begot Peleg. All right, then 18. Peleg lived 30 years and begot Reu. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 19. Peleg lived after he begot Reu 209 years and begot sons and daughters. Lived 230 years and begot Serug.
And then drop down to 24.
And Nahor lived 930 years and begot Terah.
Hey, hold on, Salakia. First read 22.
Verse 22. And Serug lived 30 years and begot Nahor.
And we got Nahor. All right. Now drop down to 24.
And Nahor lived 920 years and begot Terah.
Drop down to 26.
And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram.
Abram.
Nahor, and Haran.
Okay, drop down to, all right. So no, let me stop right there because that's important. It says that in Nahor, where we at? 26?
Yes.
Yeah, and Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran, which Abram is Abraham. Okay. And this is important because this is where it really is going to pick up and really going to kick off. All right. But I wanted to run it there because people don't know who was before Abraham. You know what I mean? They don't know how to get to Adam, from Adam to Abraham. And that's why it's important that we do learn that we do learn how to get, how to get all the way through, how to walk it all the way down, because that's important, especially when you teaching or when you're trying to prove a point. All right. When you could walk it all the way down. All right. Let's get I believe verse 29 is where we're going.
Verse 29. Abram and Nahor took them wives.
The
name of Abram's wife was Sarah.
Not Sarah.
Sarah.
Yep.
Sarah. And the name, come on, one.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah,
Okay.
the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Isupk.
All right, continue.
But Sarah was barren. She had no child.
So Sarai, she was barren. She didn't have no child. Remember, her wound was closed up. All right, her wound, she was barren. She wasn't able to have any children. They weren't producing any children. So that's why it's important, because we're going to walk it down and we're going to see how the Lord opened her womb. And then we got Isaac, and then from Isaac we got Jacob, right? Whose name was changed to Israel. And we are going to walk down to all of these points. All right, young man. Give me Genesis 12:1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12 and verse 1. Now the Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee.
Okay.
Verse
yeah, so
2.
he's talking to Abraham. He's talking to Abraham. He's telling him to go away. All right, you go, and I'm gonna get you. We say I want you to go away. He said, and I'm gonna take you into a land that I will shew thee, that I will show thee. So the Lord's gonna show and tell him where to go. And see, this is what we got to understand. Like, our whole nation is able to exist and able to come because of Abraham's faithfulness to the Lord. Like, if Abraham wasn't faithful to the Lord, none of this would matter. If Abraham wasn't faithful to the Lord, then none of this would be begot. That's the thing. You got to have somebody listening. You have to really be listening and paying attention and doing what you were told. That's why it's important to listen to the men above you, because they telling you things for a reason. All these things are for a reason. All right, let's get back to it. Continue reading.
Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Verse 4. So Abram departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
All right, hold on right there. No, hold on right there. You see, it said that Abraham, it said he departed. The Lord told him, leave everything you know. Leave your mother, your father, leave all of this that you know, and go over there. And see, that's what you got to do in this truth sometimes. Sometimes in this truth, you might have to leave and go over here and work. Go over here and build a nation. Go over here and raise up a city. Go up in here and wake up brothers. Go over here and save sisters. Okay? That's what you do. Sometimes you got to depart. It said, so Abraham departed. Okay? As the Lord has spoken to him. He out. And you know what? Lot was like, I'm going with him. You know what I mean? That man's talking to the Lord. I'm going with him, and I'm going to be blessed too. All right, continue.
Verse 5. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. Verse 6. And Abram passed through the land into the place of Sichem, unto the plain of Moray, and the Canaanite was then in the land. Verse 7, and the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him.
You see that
And
right
he
there? Hold on.
removed.
Hold on. You see that right there? It said, and the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, unto thy seed I will give this land. All right. And we're going to see that later, which land that was. Okay. But that's important to remember. That's important to know because the Lord, the land that is our land, the Lord blessed us with that land. All right. The Lord said that's supposed to be for us. And it happened all the way back here in Genesis, the 12th chapter. All right. Before Israel was even a nation, this land was already ordained, okay, to us. All right. Read verse 8.
Verse 8, and he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. Verse 9, and Abram journeyed.
Hold on. So he built Bethel, okay, right there in Bethel, or right there our land, okay. So we need to get understanding of that. Like he just followed the Lord, and the Lord gave him this land. And as he follows and as he continues to be faithful, you continue to see that the Lord is doing and giving everything that he has promised. Okay. Go to Genesis 16.
What verse?
Verse 1. Yeah, so we could continue to see what's exactly going on here, because what are we talking about? We're talking about history, our history. We're talking about our lineage. We're talking about our patriots. We're talking about where we come from as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, as people who has been scattered all the hell over, as people who has been destroyed, as people who has been captured, enslaved, and renamed. Okay, over and over and over again. You know, just as me, I went from Ephraim, you know, to whatever else, to Arawaks, to Taínos, to Puerto Rican. You see, they just keep renaming. That's why we become these proverbs and these bywords. So this is what we have to understand, and we have to walk down this lineage. That's why we started at Adam, and we're going to walk down to how we became the Israelites, how we are who we are. Okay, go ahead and read. Go ahead and read that 16 and 1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
All right,
verse 2.
So hold on. So she had her handmaid bear Abraham a child, because you know the lineage is supposed to come through Abraham. He said that he was going to make him an exceedingly nation, make him a great nation. We know that to be a great nation, it's going to come from what? From having children. All right. So, and she sees that she's barren. So since she sees that she's barren, she's like, if I can't give them children myself, I'm going to give them a child through my handmaid, through my servant. All right, continue reading.
Verse 2. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened.
Salakia, go ahead.
And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai.
You see, Abram hearkened. Abram listened to his wife, and that's why he went up in the handmaid. All right. the Lord has restrained me from bearing. The Lord has took away my ability to produce children. So, and since I can't produce children this way, please go into my handmaid. All right, and may it be that I may obtain a children by her. So as she's gonna bear the children, but I'm gonna be the mother. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife.
Uh-huh.
Verse 4. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
No,
Verse 5.
hold on. When she realized that she could have the baby, she despised her for that. It's like, damn, I can't give them no children, but you over here, I can't conceive, but you over here conceiving. All right, continue.
Verse 5.
Really drop down to 7. Drop down to 7.
So like verse 7. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur.
Uh-huh.
Verse 8. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress, Sarai. Verse 9. And the angel of the Lord said,
Salakia. Hold on, Salakia, hold on. I need you to go back to 5. That's what I need. Salakia, I needed you to read 5. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Sarai said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee.
Continue.
Verse 6. But Abram said unto Sarai, behold, thy maid is in thy hand, do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face.
All right, so Abraham said unto Sarai, behold, that's your maid. You do with her as you will. All right. This is your choice. All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. Verse 8.
Drop down to 11.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Continue.
Verse 12. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
All right,
Verse
so
13.
hold on. Nope, hold on. Let's break that down. And he will be a wild man. All right. And every man's hand against him. All right. They always fighting, right? You know who this is talking about. You know who the Ishmaelites are, right? Okay. They always got down fighting. They always at war. They always they doing their thing. They are some wild men. Okay. All right. It says he'll be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. You know, they always talk about the war on terrorists, and it's always terrorism and what's Taliban's and all that manner of stuff. All right, and it says he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. He does dwell in the presence of all his brethren. They all right there tucked in the Middle East. All of them, all them surrounding countries, they are all right there tucked in. This is how we know who this is talking about. We see this happening today. We've seen this happening through history with them. Okay, Ishmael done been through Africa. They've been over here. They've been everywhere fighting. Okay, because that's the prophecy. That's what was going to happen with them. That's what the Lord is saying right here. All right, now you can continue reading.
Verse 13. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, I will also here look after him that seeth me. Verse 14. Wherefore the wood was called Belaheroi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Verse 15. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And
Okay.
Abram.
No, you can stop there. You can stop there. All right. So I just wanted to show y'all this with Ishmael because I wanted to show y'all Ishmael because Ishmael, he didn't get the promise. All right. So as we running down this lineage, Abraham had two sons, just like through this whole thing. These other people had brothers, but the lineage was going through them until. All right, let's go right there to the next chapter.
If I could, I got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about what you just said about how the promise wasn't with Ishmael, it was with Isaac. And in Numbers 118, it says you are what the father is. How come Ishmael wasn't good enough for the blessing?
Because of it. All right, let's go right back to that. All right. That's in 16, you said?
Numbers 1 and 18.
Oh, Numbers 1 and 18. All right, let me get over there. Yeah, let me get right there. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to show you why. All right, because that's what we do. We assemble all the congregation, right, together on the first day of the second month and declare their pedigrees by the house of their father. This is why we say you are the seed of your father right here. But also, the Lord, he picks and chooses, and you give the blessings to those sons. So let me see where it is. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me find something real quick.
All right, that's what.
All right, let me see where this is. Let me see where. All right. Let's go to Genesis 21. I'm going to show you why it wasn't him. Because the Lord said through Sarah, I will raise up the seed out of Sarah. But let's get Genesis 21, and I believe we're probably going to start at 9. All right, go ahead. You can read it if you got it. Genesis 21.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which he had born unto Abraham, mocking. Verse 10. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son.
Do what?
This bondwoman. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son.
Cast out this bondwoman and her son. Because of what? Because she had born into Abraham, he was mocking. So go ahead and read that.
For the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
Should not be what?
Shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. Right there.
That's why Ishmael's not, because a child grew. What did it say? And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. They was over there playing games. They laughing. They doing all this because he's the firstborn. They thinking everything's going to be great. But no, It said, wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. You know, when it says even, it means level with Isaac. Okay? Just like Esau's not in there with us. Okay? You got that?
The water. I will come.
A yonder bar. No sweat. All right, let's go back to Genesis, I believe, 17. Where we at? Genesis, the 17th chapter. And we'll pick it up at 17. And where was we? Yeah. We'll pick it up at, let me see. I think verse 1 is where we, let me see.
Yeah, 1. Thanks.
Yeah, just pick it up at 1. Where was we? We already read through that, right?
I don't remember reading this.
All right, let's go to verse 1. Hey,
Yeah, 1.
Yaganan, you go ahead and pick it up.
Book of Genesis, chapter 17, and verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me, and be thou perfect.
And be thou what?
Be thou perfect.
And be thou what?
Perfect.
See, the Bible tells you can be perfect. I mean, why is he telling Abraham to be thou perfect if he can't do it? Continue reading.
Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be.
With who?
My covenant is with thee.
My covenant is with thee. Okay. He's going to run it down. We are talking about lineage. All right. Continue reading.
Okay. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram.
Neither shall what?
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram.
So his name wasn't going to be called no more Abram. All right. You see, this is how it is, you know. You follow the Lord, you know, you gonna become a new man, you get a new name. You understand? That's what's happening with Abram right here. Abram is no longer going to be called Abram. He's going to be called something else. Let's continue and see what that something else is.
But thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Verse 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
And kings shall come out of thee. What's the greatest king that came up out of there? Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right, continue reading.
Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee. There are generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee.
All right, so you see it says that, and you know, we can go right. We can get precepts to where it says exactly that. You know, I should be a God to them, and they shall be my people. All right, that's what this is talking about. That's what is happening all right here. He is telling them how he's going to establish this covenant with him through his seed, through his lineage, through his children. Okay, and he is going to raise up a nation out of there, and many kings going to come. You got to understand, especially out of Abraham, they got other, a lot of Abraham had 8 sons. Okay, so there's other nations that came. We understand that there's the damn Israelites. All right, continue reading.
Verse 8. And I will give unto thee, unto thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, of the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. Verse 9. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. Verse 10.
Hold on 1 second, because I kind of want to touch back on something where it say there was an everlasting covenant. Yeah, the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. You know what I mean? Let me get Jeremiah 32. We'll hold where we're at. Let's get Jeremiah 32.
Young man.
Yeah, young man, I want you to get this. I want you to get these precepts. I'm going to pull them.
Said Jeremiah 32.
In verse 28. Hold on. 32 and 38, Salakia.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32 and verse 38. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God.
Drop down to 40. No, go ahead and just continue reading. Go ahead and
verse
just continue
39.
reading.
And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. Verse 40. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Verse 41. Yea, I will rejoice over them.
All right, now you can stop there. I just wanted to show you that, and hold on, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. I'm looking for one thing. Let me see. Now give me Hebrews 8 and 10. Okay.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
You see,
that's it.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why these precepts is important. That's how you understand the Bible, by these precepts, so we can get a full understanding. You understand? Now let's go back to the Genesis, chapter 17, and Trooper Yaganan, you can pick it up where you was at.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 9. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant. Therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. Verse 10. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. Verse 11. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. Verse 12. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Coming out of one question. So after 8 days, the male should be circumcised, correct?
Yes, that's how it should be done.
Okay.
Exactly. After 8 days.
Okay.
Yeah, on the 8th day, then you will get your child circumcised. And I believe you could set that up. You know what I mean? I'm sure you could set that up some way because, at the hospital, they doing it right then and there. You know what I mean? But I'm sure there is a way you could set it up. That's what brothers and sisters in the school do. They get it set up so they can be aligned with the scriptures.
Coming out of one corner.
No sweat. You got it.
Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house are brought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. Verse 13, he that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Verse 14, and the uncircumcised man, child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant.
Yep. Continue.
Verse 15, and God said unto Abraham, as for Sarah, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarah, but Sarah.
So right there, so Sarah's getting a new name, okay? She's being called something else. Continue.
Shall her name be. Verse 16, and I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yeah, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. The king of
and the mother of nations that she ends up being is this nation of Israel. Okay, continue.
Kings of people shall be of her. Verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear?
And see, this is the thing. Sarah and Abraham both laughed at this being said because they couldn't fathom it. You know what I mean? Like he's thinking like, how am I as old as I am? Like I just don't know if I'm about to have a kid. And then my wife is 90 years old and she's bare. She cannot have children. Continue reading. We'll drop down to 19.
Verse 19. And God said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting.
What? Read that part again.
I will establish my covenant with him.
No, read that whole Salakia. Read that whole verse again.
And God said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting.
That's why we say Abraham, Isaac. Continue reading. What it say? In what?
Everlasting covenant.
Continue.
And with his seed after him,
which is Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay. So, and it says, in verse 20, and it said, for Ishmael, I heard thee, behold, I blessed him, and I will make him fruitful and multiply, and exceedingly 12 princes. That's why they're over there. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. That's why they're over there in them land. They got shawls, or what they call them, like the shawls. They got them cats. Them cats got they rich. Okay, you talking about oil money? They got money. They got coins. They got paper. Okay, they got the 12 princes. They over there in their land with all that oil. They're doing swell. All right. what was we just at? 19, 20. Give me 21.
21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
Mm, mm, mm. So they telling them this is who the covenant's going to. There's already a name before this child's even born. You already got a name because it says you shall call him Isaac, and I will make that covenant with him, with you and him. All right, through your seed with him. Okay. Give me 18 and 9. Start moving through some of this.
This is 18, book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 9. And then said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. Verse 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him.
So while this is going on, while this conversation is going on, Sarah hears this. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well, stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, Sarah.
Hold on. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old and stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah in the manner of a woman. What does that mean?
If I could, Baba Kasha, it probably meant that her age, she no longer had her menstrual.
Well, let's read that one more time. Read that one more time, Trooper.
Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman.
Meaning, all right. Meaning what?
Old and stricken in it. I'm thinking that she didn't think that it was possible.
Is your 90-year-old grandma just having sex? Is people want to have sex with your 90-year-old grandma and things like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because of the age, they weren't feeling it no more. I don't think they.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to. At some point, a woman takes away that they lose that sense of, I want to be in that. You know what I mean? You understand? Like, so where, you could have been, you was young, the men was after your tail nonstop. But then you come to an age to where there's nobody chasing that no more. All right? There's nobody trying to get down with that. All right? Continue reading.
Verse 12. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure?
Shall I have what?
Shall I have pleasure? My Lord being old also.
So she talking about her and Abraham old too. What the hell? She's like, if Abraham's old and I'm old, I'm gonna get some pleasure. I got some ride coming my way.
Come.
So we old and he about to come throw that ride. Good night. To her, she was like, it just didn't make, just couldn't comprehend that.
Verse 13. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a truthfully bear a child, which I am?
Which I am old. Yes. It said, and the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh? Abraham laughed, Sarah laughed. It's because they old, saying, shall I of surety bear a child? Like, are you sure? I'm old. Are you sure I'm going to bear a child? Continue.
Verse 14.
Yep. Go ahead.
Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
Okay, so it's letting you know that she's going to have a son, man. What the Lord says, it happens. That's the bottom line. Like the will of God, that's not going to be moved or swayed. All right. Young man, give me Genesis 21, and we'll start at 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 21, and verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. Verse 2. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. Verse 3.
Continue.
And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac.
He
Verse
called him
4.
Isaac because he called him Isaac because that was the name that was said for him to name this child. Now continue reading.
Verse 4. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Verse 5. And Abraham was 100 years old.
No, not verse 5. Now we're gonna get back. Drop down to 9, even though we already just broke this down with your question, but it's okay. Drop down to 9.
Verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Verse 10. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
Down to 12.
Verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, and all that Sarah hath said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
For what?
For in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Continue reading.
Verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed.
And that's why they're all over there. That's why they're all. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get it so I can show y'all more proof of they're just all over there. Let's see where this is. The 2 colors. Hold on 1 second. All right, give me Galatians 4. We'll go 4 and 25.
Galatians.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 25. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
For
and
what?
Answereth to Jerusalem.
Nope. For what?
For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
All right. For
and
this
answereth.
Agar is short for Hagar, is in Mount Sinai in where? Arabia. This is the Bible, okay? These places exist, right? Y'all know about Mount Sinai, right? Y'all know about Arabia, right? Y'all know about Saudi Arabia and all that, right? All right, continue.
And answereth to Jerusalem, which now is, and is in bondage with her children.
And don't they be fighting back and forth? The Palestinians, the fake Jews, you see what I mean? This is in the scriptures. This is in Galatians. Okay. So this is showing you that's that nation. That's where they are. Okay. Now let's get back to Genesis 17 and pick up where we left off.
Book of Genesis, chapter 17.
Oh, Salakia. We wasn't at 17 no more. We was in 21, Salakia. We was in 21 and where was it,
13.
young man? 21 and 13.
13.
Most High in Christ.
This is the book of Genesis.
Oh yeah, and we finished that, right? Yep. Because that's what we were proving. That it will make that nation that seed. Let me see. Go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 21 and verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. Verse
and we
14.
still see that nation today. Hold on, no, we're done with that. We still see that nation today. Okay, they want to tell you that you know that you're not an Israelite, like you just disappeared, like your lineage just went off the face of this earth. All right, but we can still see these other nations. We see a nation right there. It said that other kid, that other one, I'll make him a nation too. We see that nation today, but we don't get to see our nation. All right, they hide our history, our lineage. They know they're the Ishmaelites. They have no question about it. They know they are the Ishmaelites. They believe that Ishmael gave a word, and then Muhammad came and you know picked up and all. But regardless, they know their lineage. They know that they come from Ishmael. Why don't you know during Black History Month? Why don't you know that you come from Israel? Why isn't that taught to you in school? Why does everybody else know who they are, and we have no reckoning or no recognition or no understanding of who we are? Okay, let's get back to it.
Verse 14.
We're gonna go to chapter 24, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24 and verse 1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh.
No, drop down to 3.
Verse 3. And I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven, and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. Verse 4.
Yes. He don't want that. He wants a daughter from his family. And we're gonna see how this was made happen. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But thou shalt go into my country, into my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. Verse 5. And the servant said unto him.
No. So she said that. Now drop. All right. So it says, but thou shalt go into my country, my kindred, and take a wife unto my son, Isaac. Right? Let me see. All right. Now we're going to drop down and drop down to 67. Let me just show y'all something real quick. Let me show you sexist marriage real quick.
That's the book of Genesis, chapter 24 and verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Read that again.
Verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
It didn't say he got down on one knee Didn't say none of that, right? What did it say? It said he took her in his mother's tent, and she became his wife. Okay, I just wanted to get that out the way. Go to Genesis 21. I mean Genesis 25 and 21.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Hold on. So she's asking, if this is supposed to be, if I'm supposed to forget it, I can't find what I'm looking for. If this is supposed to be, if this is of the Lord, why is these children struggling in my womb? Okay. Continue reading.
Continue.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy vow. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy vow.
Yep. It says, the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Okay? 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Okay? And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So we seeing right there, right? We seeing right there exactly what it is. All right. That's why when you was asking about in Numbers 1 and 18 about them being set down by the pedigrees of their fathers. But the Lord right here is saying 2 nations are in your womb. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 23. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Continue.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Verse 27.
Let's go ahead and just touch into 27. I gotta always touch on 27, even though I do want to skip it, but no, just
verse
skip
27.
It. We just gonna skip that. Go to 29.
Verse 29.
And then what we about to read right here, hold on. What we about to read right here is because they like to always say that that Jacob stole Esau's birthright. But we're going to see that's absolutely false. He didn't steal anything. All right, go ahead.
Verse 29. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30.
All right, so Esau came. Hold on. Esau came from the field. He was faint. You know what it's like to be faint, right? Meaning about to pass out, meaning nigh unto death, meaning, he's struggling. He's out there and he's coming back and he needs to be renourished so he can live. Continue reading.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Okay.
Verse 31. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. Verse 32.
Nope.
Sell me this. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright.
No, he stole it.
Sell me this day thy birthright.
No, he swiped it when his back was turned.
Sell me this day thy birthright.
All right. So when somebody tells you that that Jacob stole Esau's birthright, you go right here to Genesis 25 and 21. I mean 25 and 31, and you say what?
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Continue reading.
Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?
And you know that fits an Edomite so well, right? Because it says, I am at the point to where I'm gonna die. What the hell do I care about this birthright? I mean, do you know how crazy that is? That he didn't give a damn about his birthright. He was willing to sell it. He said, hey, I'm at the point where I feel like I'm about to die. I don't care about that birthright. I don't care about it until later when he's trying to get it, okay? When he's trying to get something that he already sold off to his brother, okay? Continue reading.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright. And Jacob said, swear to me this day.
Swear unto me. Jacob said, hold on, slow it down. Jacob said, you know, you gotta slow it down, especially when you see them commas and them semicolons and them other. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And then when you see that semicolon, you see it's about to explain, like really, he said, and he swore unto him. It said, swear to me this day. And you know what Esau did? He swore unto them. Continue reading.
And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
And he did what?
And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
So when somebody comes to you with that lie, and they tell you that Jacob stole Esau's, because you know it's mainly Edomites who love to say that. Well, you're saying that, but Jacob and Esau was brothers, and Jacob stole his birthright. Read that one more time.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Continue reading.
Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
So Esau despised that birthright after that. He's like, I gave up my birthright for some lentils, for something to drink, and for some of that pottage that was sodded. Okay, go to 27 and 30. You can get it, Trooper. 27 and 30.
27 and verse 30.
Yep, Genesis chapter 27. The book of Genesis chapter 27, verse 30.
Book of Genesis chapter 27 and verse 30. And it came to pass soon as Isaac and had an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. Verse 31. And he also had made
Salakia, for time's sake. For time's sake, because I was going to get that to where I was going to explain what happened, but no, for time's sake, give me Genesis 29 and 12.
Book of Genesis chapter 29 and verse 12. And Jacob told Rachel that he was his father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. Verse 13. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. 14. And Laban said unto him, Surely thou art my bone of my flesh. And he
Bone of my
abode.
bone, flesh of my flesh. That's a precept for the Adam and Eve. The bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. When it says that he took the rib, okay, that's where you can find that at. Go ahead, continue.
And he abode with him the space of a month. Verse 15. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
So he said, because thou art my brother, my family, my flesh, should thou serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? Continue reading.
Verse 16. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee. Then
hold on. Say verse 19 before you read it, though. Say the verse before you read it.
Verse 19. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Verse 20. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed until him but a few years, for the love he had for her. Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are filled, that I may go in unto her. Verse 22. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast.
You can read 24. Hold on. Where you at? 20.
Okay, I just read 22.
Yeah, read 23.
23. And in verse 23, and it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went into her.
All right, so you see that? So, so it was supposed to be Rachel, but Leah's the oldest, and he was not about to give him Rachel yet. So it said it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. Okay, y'all know once you go into her, that becomes your wife. Drop down to 25.
25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, What is this that thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
He said, Why you trick me? Why you messing with me? Why you trick me like that? I worked for Rachel, not Leah. Continue.
Verse 26. And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Verse 27. For fear her weak, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou served with me yet 7 another years. Wow. Verse 28. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel and his wife and his daughter to wife also.
Drop down to 30.
Verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years.
All right, so and this is what I want to let people know too, that all right, if you're going to be having more than one rib, okay, you're going to do that, you're going to have to love them both. Okay. You can't just be loving one and not loving the other, because the Lord's going to deal with you on that, just like it was dealt with right here. Continue reading.
Verse 31.
Uh-huh.
And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
You see that? He opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And let's start seeing how he opened this womb. Let's see how we get these 12 tribes of Israel. Continue reading.
Verse 32, and Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord hath looked into my affliction. Now, therefore, my husband will love me. And verse 33, and she conceived again and bare another son, and said, because our Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 34, and she conceived again and bare another son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
Uh-huh.
Verse 35, and she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now I will praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left barren.
All right, so already she done had Reuben, the Seminole Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, all right, Levi, the Haitians, and Judah, the so-called blacks. Okay, now let's go to 30 and 1.
Book of Genesis, chapter 30 and verse 1. When Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
So she wanted these children bad, and what we need to understand is these 12 tribes, we all stem from this one man and 4 women. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 2. Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, I am I in God's stead, whom hath withheld from thee the fruit of thy womb.
He said, am I doing this to you? Am I in God's stead? Do I have that power? Am I in control of that? Okay, continue.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Is it lawful to have 2 sisters?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. I don't know. We got to go to the law. Hold on, Salakia. I'll have to go. Let me get that real quick. I know you're not supposed to do the mother in the. Let me go to Leviticus real quick.
Daughter. But
yeah,
they
mother and daughter, but
yeah,
let me see. Let me see. Man, take his sister, his father, his daughter, and see the nakedness. If a man shall lie, the woman having a sickness or recover her nakedness. If a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, if a man shall take his brother's wife, you shall keep her. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see. It's not right here where I'm looking.
coming out on.
It's not, because it just says, and if a man takes this, Leviticus 20 and 14 says, and if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no more wickedness among you. But
I guess it's lawful.
yeah, and if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, that is a wicked thing. Like taking your own sister and stuff like that. But 2 sisters, I would just have to see that, and I would really, Yeah, like you're not supposed to uncover your aunties, your stuff like that. If a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, okay. If a man shall take his brother, okay. So yeah, I just don't see that right here, but I'd have to go deeper.
Come on, Adam, come on.
Yeah, I'll have to just get that to you at a later date.
Yeah,
Instead of
just
just like,
get to me later.
yeah, I'll look further and see it, but right off the top, I just don't see it off the top, you know.
Yeah.
But all right, go ahead.
Verse 3. And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in into her, and she shall bow upon my knees, that I
Hmm.
may also have children by her.
See, that's what Sarah was doing, right? Sarah had Hagar have the children, so she would have the children through her. Now let's see what came of her. Um, drop down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan.
You see, called she his name Dan. You see how these tribes are forming, these 12 tribes of Israel? Continue reading.
Verse 7. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. And Rachel said, With great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
Uh-huh. Continue.
Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, A
Hey,
troop cometh.
read out the number when you go into the next verse so people can stay with you.
Verse 11. And Leah said, A troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. Verse
Mm-hmm.
12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. Verse 13. And Leah said, Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found man's drakes in the field and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, Give me, I pray thee, and thy sons man's drakes. Verse 15. And
Hold
she
on,
said,
what's a mandrake?
I'm not sure.
If I could, Bob Kasha, flowers.
Yes, yeah, I'll take that because it would be considered like a purple flower, I guess. But yeah, okay, yep. All right, go ahead, continue.
Um, and she said unto her, verse 15, and she said unto her, It is a small matter that thou hast taken my husband. Wouldst thou take away my son's mandrake also? And Rachel said, Therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. Verse 16. And
Give me
Jacob,
17.
verse 17. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah, verse 18. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Isupk.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. And Leah conceived again and bare Jacob his sixth son. Verse 20. And Leah said, God hath endured me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun.
All right, drop down to 24.
Verse 24, and she called his name Joseph and said, the Lord had added to me another son.
Well, read 22 first and then read that so they know who it's talking about.
And God remembered, verse 22, and God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her and opened her womb.
Okay, because
Verse 24.
she only had 2. Like out of all of us, she only had 2,
Oh, okay.
which is the so-called Puerto Ricans, which is Joseph, and the so-called Jamaicans, who was the Benjamites, who was Benjamin.
Okay.
All right, read 24.
Verse 24, and she called his name Joseph and said, the Lord hath added to me another son.
Okay, now let's go to give me 30. Give me Genesis 35 and 18.
Book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 18. And it came to pass, and her soul was in departing, but she died. She called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. Verse
His father
19,
called
and
him what?
Rachel died.
No. But his father called him Benjamin. Okay. So what happened is, it came to pass where, like, I don't know, she was having the struggles, I guess, dying during this childbirth or whatever, and that's where Benjamin comes from. Okay, so now jump up to probably verse 10.
Book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 10. And God said unto him, thy name is Jacob, and thou shalt not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel.
Okay, now give me Genesis 32 and 1, and let's see why his name is called Israel.
Book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. Verse 2. And when Jacob saw them,
no, drop down to 24.
Book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of day. Verse 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
He said, I'll not let you go. Hold on, I will not let thy go except ye bless me. Okay? He's over here. The day is breaking. He is wrestling with him. Okay? Continue.
Verse 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. Verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For a prince has thy power with God and with man, and has prevailed.
And that's how we became the 12 tribes. Okay, that's how we became the 12 tribes of Israel, from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, really from Adam all the way to Jacob. Okay, whose name was changed to Israel. All right, and that's why it says you will no more be called Jacob. You will now be called Israel, the Prince of the Power. Okay, and that's what the hell we are, Yasharallah. That's why we say Kwam Yasharallah, which is rise, Israel, rise, the princes of the power. Any other questions?
No other one.
No, sir.
Go ahead.
I said no, sir.
Oh no, sir. Most High in Christ. All right. Yaganan, I guess I am gonna have you try to get those security announcements.
Can you email them to me?
Actually, no. Go ahead, young man. You could do it. You could do it. Go ahead.
Should I be standing?
Yeah, it's already to your phone. That's what I sent you earlier. Remember?
Yeah, I got it. Should I be standing?
No, you could. Yeah, go ahead and stand. Just go ahead and stand and kind of step off to the side. You know, you ain't got to be in the view of the camera, really. Just go ahead and that's Tawab right there. Shit.
We are the ISPK. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shake themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There was another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teach your priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
All right, hold on. Upcoming holy convocations is going to be Purim, the 14th day of the 15th, Slakia, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Sunday the 5th of March, and Monday the 6th of March, 2023. This is in Esther 9 and 20 through 31. Continue, young man.
Remind Asham and our wife to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. These are the ISUPK security announcements.
All right, so we go to a Magium. Everybody stand and face the east. All right, we're going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. All right, Abanawa.
No.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shabka.
Shabka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Lapaka.
Taba'ah.
Sabah.
Ratasayaka.
Watasayaka.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Asha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Latan Nalawa.
Sam Malawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakia Nawa.
Wasalakia.
Tabawakia Nawa.
Tabawakia now.
Kasalakia Nawa.
Kasalakia.
Kabawakia Nawa.
Kabawakia now.
Wala.
Wala.
Taba'a Nanawan.
Abba.
Bana Sanawan.
My son of the one.
Abal,
Abal.
Hawashanawa, Mayan,
Shanawa. Mayan.
Rai,
Rai.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Laka,
Laka.
Hamalakwa,
Amalakwa.
Wahala,
Wahala.
Wahata Paraf,
Wahata Para.
La Walayam,
Walawayan.
Aman. In the
Aman.
English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name,
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
that will be
in earth as it is in heaven.
done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the
and
power,
the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So
Amen.
be it. Amen.
All right, men of Israel, went to the Sar. Y'all face the teacher. Give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Y'all go ahead.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatum. All right, we're going to Sar, turn, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Lilatan Ba Shem Yahweh. Gotcha, Matah. Class dismissed. Clap it up. Let me end the broadcast. Let me